let's get the question out of the way right here and now. Do I think the Eagles are going to win on Sunday against the Rams? Yeah, I do. Do I have any true specific reasons as to why? A couple, not a lot, but a couple. First and foremost, defensively, the Eagles are going to make plays. I don't know if they're going to make turnovers, but they're going to be able to slow the Rams down because they're as healthy as can be. They're getting Derek Barnett back. The only injury that they have at the moment to worry about is Brandon Graham's recovering from his concussion protocol, which he was practicing today, which is a good thing. And Vinny Curry, who's out for a couple of weeks. Those are the only injuries as of right now, defensively, that you got to worry about with the Eagles. Offensively, it's a different story, and it's not because of injuries. The biggest issue last week against the Washington football team was Carson Wentz. That's the obvious, and that's just the truth. Nothing you could say can change my mind because the issues, the mistakes that he made were when he had time in the pocket, big time. Like the biggest mistakes, the interceptions, the fumble wasn't all on him, but he should have gotten the ball out of there, obviously. And half of the sacks that he took 8 of them. Half of them were his fault for holding onto the ball and trying to make a play. Granted, he's done that in the past and he's made plays, but the receivers that he has right now, they're not what 2017 Eagles wide receivers were. You know what I mean? They weren't a healthy Alshon. They weren't a veteran and speed guy in Torrey Smith. Zach Ertz, who was playing out of his mind in that year as well. And then you had a running game that was actually working, and that's another issue as well. The running game needs to be very, very apparent this weekend. You need to be able to run on the Rams. I spoke about it in a live stream. And by the way, I'll be live streaming the Eagles game all the way through and a post game. So stay tuned for that on Sunday from 1 to 5. You can see me right here live reacting and talking with you guys. So stay tuned for that. But I watched the Rams play against the Cowboys and not only beat them, but they stayed committed to the run. They didn't have a lot of runs that went beyond 15 to 20 yards. It was here and there. They would break one like that, especially in the later half of the game. But in the first half of the game specifically, first downs and second downs and even some third downs, if it was 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5, they were running the football up the gut into the heart of the Cowboys' defensive line. The Eagles need to show that they are willing to run down your team's throat. They need to establish that. They need to establish that and not let that go. Miles Sanders is coming back, which is great. Boston Scott's going to be ready to go. That duo is going to be back for the first time since the Giants game, I believe, last year, which is great. So we have to see that. We have to see those guys running as much as they can, especially if Miles Sanders says what he says, and it's true, is that he's 100% healthy, and Boston Scott is there as well. You got Corey Clement, you got Huntley, you got 4 guys. You have 4 guys who can run the football. Run the football. Even if it doesn't work, you have to stay committed to it. Doesn't matter. We can pass the ball as well as we can. We proved that last week with the first couple of drives. We can move the ball by throwing the ball. We don't have to do that all the time, though. Carson Wentz doesn't have to be throwing 42 times. He doesn't have to be dropping back over 50 times a game. He doesn't have to do that. And then to take 8 sacks, whether or not they're half of them are his fault or not, you cannot be throwing the ball more than 50 times a game. You cannot be running pass plays 50 times a game. That's a fact. And I look at the Rams. Their defense is okay. They got some parts that I look at and I say, you know. But I look at the Rams and I say, if the Eagles can run on them, they can pass on them. And they have to establish their run game first before you're even thinking about passing. If we open up the game passing, I'm going to have a problem. But of course, if it works, we're not going to talk about it. But either way, whatever mistakes that were made last week, whether it was Carson throwing interceptions, holding onto the ball too long, abandoning the run, the Eagles have to rectify those issues. And they have to fix what didn't work with something that does. And the Rams, they can stop the run. They can plug it up. But you have to be creative. You also have to not be predictable. That's a big thing, and I'm looking at you, Doug Peterson. It's your offense now, truly. You're the offensive coordinator. You're working with a bunch of other people, no offensive coordinator. You're the play caller. You have to make it work. You have to do different. You have to be smart. You can't run the same things over and over and expect them to work. You can't run 15 scripted plays and then try to repeat those and think that they'll work. You can't throw the ball down the field 60 times back to back to back plays thinking that one of them you're going to land them. And if you do, keep doing it. It's not how it works. You should know that. This is your 5th year coaching. You should know that by now. At the end of the day, if the Eagles can solve what didn't work last week and fix those problems, they can win this game by a close margin, by far. They'll be able to put up points. Defense can stop the Rams. I believe that they can stop the Rams. And they should win this game. If they don't, we're going to fall to 0-2, and we're going to have big problems here. And we might as well just really think about who the Eagles are at that point if they fall to 0-2. And if not only if they fall to 0-2, but if they fall to 0-2 and they lose badly. Like, it's okay if they lose by a field goal or a touchdown. But if they lose by 2 touchdowns or more, 10 points or more, like last week, we're going to have problems in Philly by far. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys on Sunday when I start my stream. It'll be previewed and everything, so notifications on. Stay tuned, and I'll see you all then. Fly Eagles fly. Peace out, y'all.